Hello everyone, what's going on? I'm Gav, the Master 974, back again today, and welcome to another Source Shorts video. And what I'm going to be doing today is talking about how you can modify the drainage rate of suit devices in Source 2013 single player or multiplayer mods. Now, if you don't know what I mean by suit devices, it's basically the auxiliary power, for example, the sprint functionality, the flashlight, and the oxygen meter when you go underwater. And this was recommended by abox1209 a long time ago, and I apologise for taking so long to get this video out, especially for how hopefully simple it ends up being. So what you want to do is go into your, everything or games solution, whatever the case might be, and you want to go to the server project, go to source files and HL2DLL, and then you want to open up hl2player.cpp. And just for some context, you want to go to hl2player.h because you get the class definition for a C-suit power device. And you can see that to create a C-suit power device, you need to pass through an input of a bit ID and also a float called drain rate. Now, as it says here, the important thing for us is this drain rate parameter. And it basically determines how quickly the device depletes suit power, but it's represented as % per second. So if we go to hl2player.cpp, then we can see that for the sprint in Half-Life 2 multiplayer, you can see that the % per second is 25. So you get 100 units used in 4 seconds. Whereas in Source 2013 single player mods, that's reduced to just 12.5. So it's essentially double. You get 8 seconds worth of stamina or sprint usage versus the 4 seconds that you get in multiplayer mods. And then there's a check for the flashlight versus, this regular Half-Life 2 code and Source 2013 multiplayer versus the episodic code. And then you get the breather, which is its own thing. So in this case, stamina would be referring to the sprint. So you can change this 25.0F to whatever you want. So we could reduce it to say 10.0F. That way we get 10 seconds of sprint. So we just need to build the solution to accommodate the changes, launch into a map, and then we can go from there. And just as a little bit of context before I go into the game, you might be wondering, well, why do I need to do this for Source 2013 multiplayer? Well, that's because the Half-Life 2 multiplayer player actually derives from a CHL2 player. And in hl2player.h, you can see that CHL2 player is here, and the suit devices are contained within that code. So that is why you need to do the changes that I've recommended here. And it's not just for the sprint, you can modify the flashlight and the breather. As I said, just make sure that the float input is represented as % per second. But as the code has successfully compiled, let's load into the game and see how this ends up working. So typically you're only supposed to have, as I said earlier, 4 seconds of sprint time in Source 2013 multiplayer mods. But if we launch into a map now, we should have much more than 4 seconds, and you should see that in the actual stamina bar itself. So let us just get past the obligatory intro stuff. And as you can see, we get the sprint meter depleting much more slowly. Now, I know the original comment from abox suggested that you double the stamina, or at least, increase the maximum amount. But you can also just reduce the drain rate, and that does the same thing as increasing the max amount. And increasing the max amount is probably way more harder and more complex than just simply reducing the drain rate. So that's why I'm doing this video the way that I am. So hopefully you found this helpful, and obviously there's just nothing more to say. That's how you do this. Trying to keep it short and sweet because I know I've not done a video for a while. But yeah, hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know what you think, and take care there. Peace out, see you later. And hopefully you'll check out another video very soon. So thanks for watching, everyone.